You can't expect Russ to come with Wretch lyrics.
Not everyone that paints is Picasso.
He said, I can't be on stage and not give bars.
No, but it's true. Like,
Is there going to be a UK rapper that breaks the States?
Yeah, it's happened already, innit?
Who do you feel like has done it?
Central C's the guy now, man.
A lot of UK rappers used to like really beg it off all the US rappers, pay him like whether 50 bags, 100 bags
for the verse,
to
yeah,
do the
yeah,
verse,
yeah.
but then they don't even post it.
when you hear the man them singing it, is it yuck or is it?
Is it offensive?
Sometimes it's not how I would have liked it to be, but I know that they tried their best.
Why do we always want to pit people against each other? Why can they not occupy the space together?
Yeah, I even said this to Aitch, I was like, look, you got two choices, either work with him or you go against him, innit? Like, it's literally that.
This is the +44 podcast. I'm Zeze Millz.
Yeah, what's that about?
What was that all
Damn
about?
Sideman. Music
Culture.
UK. This is +44 from Wondery.
Hello, YouTube. You are watching the +44 podcast highlights. If you want to listen to the full podcast, then go get it wherever you get your podcasts. This episode of the +44 podcast is in association with the Ivors Academy Trust and Amazon Music and is part of Ivors Week.
So today we are joined by a very, very special panel to celebrate 50 years of hip hop. Go on, David. Incoming old joke. Hurry up.
No. I know you were there at the inception of hip hop, but that's not what we're talking about right now. Could our guests introduce themselves?
Rapper, artist, creative director, human being, Wretch too.
I appreciate the clarification that you're not an alien.
My name's Dio. I'm a singer-songwriter, formerly known as Misty.
JP, editor-in-chief of Complex UK, founder of Trench.
Michael Addick, CEO of NQ Group.
All right.
Hey.
It would be good to hear what hip hop personally means to each of you. So we'll start off with you, Wretch.
Expression, man. A sound, a genre I fell in love with. And then when you're on that journey listening to music, it comes with memories as well. The first song you played when you got your car. So it's just attached to everything. So it means a lot to me.
What was the first song you played when you got your car?
I think it was a Tupac tune, you know. Come, I was
It
feeling
makes sense.
cold driving. You know what I'm saying? Tupac and that, yeah.
Hip hop kind of allowed me to create without any filters. So it just is whatever you need it to be, whatever you want it to be. It's that freedom. Kind of, I remember even like listening to hip hop on the way to school in my little Walkman. If ever I got sent to my room, that's what's coming on. Hip hop is just, it wouldn't allow me to be the songwriter that I am today. So, yeah.
You know, I wasn't even allowed to listen to hip hop. Grew up in a Pentecostal house. So I had to go and sneak and listen to like my brother's Tupac tapes and all that. Hip hop is just one of the greatest forms of like black art, black expression. That's what it means to me anyway.
Yeah, similar to the rest of you, I think my first like real memories of hip hop were like 50 Cent, shooting them crazy videos, and it just kind of gave me that aspiration to do well in life, and you know, looking at people with the crazy chains and things like that. I think it's a great way for people to express themselves as artists, but obviously the viewers as well to kind of, you know, aspire to do better in life as well. So I think for me, you know, those early memories kind of really shaped how I grew up and how I wanted to live my life.
Now that grime and drill have become a lot more mainstream, do you feel like we have influenced American culture?
From the producers to even the way people dress, like UK definitely leading the way in terms of culture.
Like, I remember like when I first went to LA, you're thinking you're going to America, so this is the place of rap and da-da-da-da-da, and then it's like, yeah, play some of your stuff. And you play some of your tunes and it's like, wow, what's this? Like, who made that? And it's just something that they haven't heard a lot of.
Yeah.
So when they hear it, they're like,
And it bugs me. If we're talking about greatest rappers of all time, I'm 100% putting Wretch in that list.
100.
One of all time. It don't matter the country,
100,
the
definitely.
region, the language. Like, it is mad sometimes, that disparity and the lack of knowledge, you know, of our thinking. Because I feel like there's been a realization at some point that, the markets work better if we collab. So it's become a business thing to know now.
There was a time when like, you know, a lot of UK rappers used to like really beg it off all the US rappers, pay him like whether 50 bags, 100 bags
for the verse.
to do the verse. And it's like, yeah, I got a verse from XYZ, but then they don't even post it.
Do you still feel like we look to America for
No.
a stamp of approval?
No, I
Not
think
as
as
much.
well, I just want to point out as well, like I think, you know, I travel a lot in Europe as well, and I see a lot of like, you know, European artists really look towards the UK. You know, some of them don't even speak English. You know, I'm in studios with like French rappers and they're like, oh, can you get me a Dilly Duppy? I'm like, how the heck do you even know what that is? You know, but I think it just goes to show how far the UK culture is really, really traveling across the world.
Business is what is bringing about more respect, because the esteem that some of our UK rappers have, some American rappers where the market is bigger, they still don't have that level of, you know, prestige, and credibility. So I think it's just not nice to know that man might be doing a tune with somebody and they don't rate their music. It's just I'm gonna do the tune with you because it makes business sense. Because
even like man's even like 2011 and 12 and 13, like man's done tours with some of the American artists. They don't even knock your door. Them time there. Do you get what I'm saying? You're literally just doing a tour and not seeing the other guy just on the stage like everyone
not
else.
Even backstage that you don't even book him one time.
Not one time. But to say that now,
that's mad.
You wouldn't imagine like if someone was on a Drake tour, you know, and he's going to check on him. And
100%.
So it has definitely
You'll see them
come a long
chilling
way.
outside of
do you know what I'm saying?
things have changed massively.
I've done tours and not even met the person once.
That's mad.
Straight business.
In terms of lyricism, how do you guys feel like lyricism has evolved or devolved over time?
I mean, I don't know if we're getting better. We're therefore getting different. It's therefore different, but I think
you sound like such a parent then. Like, you know, you're trying to be like constructive.
Bless him.
Like,
Bless him.
That was okay.
That was cute.
Try another time.
Yeah.
But I
Participation
think,
award.
I think different times warrant different things. Like, I feel like for Kano to exist, or I don't know, Dizzy Rascal to exist at that period of time, you had to be really different or really good. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think maybe now you might only have to be really interesting or really real.
I like that.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like so
that.
the same fundamentals ain't required.
Like, you can't expect Russ to come with Wretch lyrics. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because, and that's no disrespect. Like, Russ is Russ. Do you understand? So everyone's different.
Like, but I wouldn't make. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, vice versa. Yeah.
Even though that is true, I think artists can still push themselves to be better. I don't think that really happens as much, unfortunately. I think, you know, with social media and internet, you can kind of like go from no one today to someone tomorrow, you know, and with that, you don't feel like you really need to do anything more than what you're doing.
Music, it constantly evolves, so you have to keep up. If I go into a songwriting session and I'm still writing like I was 10 years ago, I'm gonna be lost. No one's gonna be like, that sounds a bit dated. Maybe now Y2K time, got flow. That it's like, okay, that'd be relevant, but you have to be able to fit in where it makes sense.
See, I want to ask you about the intersectionality that has come between rap and rhythm, the melody of it, and what
I feel like
your
you're
thought
bringing
is.
out all your big words today.
Listen,
you're sitting in front of
I'm
Wretch,
a music
like,
geek, you know. I'm not
talking
about
about
what
what
you're
saying. You're just dropping these words.
I've always had a vast vocabulary. Like, this is well established. But yeah, no, I more meant you, Dio. So yeah, I more meant you on that question. Yeah, about your thoughts on that and how, you know, rap has become more melodic. And do you have any thoughts on that?
The melodies, the rhythms, they're kind of like, they change in, and like they've influenced me to write my styles in kind of like in that way. Like I feel like when people listen to my songs, whether that's songs I've written for other people or songs I'm writing for myself, you can kind of hear the influence I've got from like Missy Elliott or Alicia Dixon, and
Alicia,
yeah. No.
No, what I did, so I'm just saying.
Can I ask you one thing? As a singer, a proper singer, because she's separate. Like, when you hear the man them singing it, are you like, is it yuck or is it?
Is it offensive?
You know what? Yeah.
Wrapping up the red in detergent.
You know what? I feel like once the demo is done, I give it to the artist and then just hope that they just put their stamp on it. Yeah, do it justice. That they put their stamp on it. Sometimes you got to push them a bit to bring out the best in them. Sometimes it's not how I would have liked it to be, but I know that they tried their best.
That was so nice. That was like PC, politically correct.
Peace be unto you. Peace be unto you.
One thing I love about hip hop is the competitiveness in it. I love the back and forth. Where do you think that comes from? What do you think the root of the competitiveness in the hip hop culture? What's that about?
If you're a rapper, you're gonna show off and be like, yeah, I can rap the best, I dress the best, you know. And if obviously someone else is not gonna be like, oh yeah, you're the best dressed and best rapper. No, I'm the best as well. So it's something that, you know, iron sharpens iron, and I think even when you're on, you know, a song together, I'm sure, Wretch, you can attest to that, where it's like, if someone's spinning you, you're not going to be like, all right, cool, I'm just going to let this go out. That, I know that doesn't happen much, but, you know, it's something that you're going to be like, nah, let me get back in and properly do my thing.
Has anyone spun you?
Like, I've lost like some with my peers though.
What's the
Do you get what
studio
I'm saying?
session like with you and Ghetts?
To this day, like my man we're so competitive. You get what I'm saying? He'll be like, yeah, into the ghetto I took you. I'm like, bro, this is my tune, my guy. You get what I'm saying? But like, you just keep going. You get what I'm saying? So if maybe I lose one that day, I'll get him on the next. Do you get what I'm
Question
saying?
though,
Like,
do you ever re-record? Say you hear his verse and like, yo.
So you see that man's era, we're not re-recording. Or if me and Ghetts do a tune on the same day, and I do my verse and he does his verse, then he says, nah, you went too mad, and changes his verse next week.
That's an L.
Out of respect, I want you to let them know.
Yeah. You changed the verse.
That you changed your tune. You know what I'm saying?
There was more pride back then.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Man can't make me change my verse. That's crazy.
Like, tell them, even in the verse, tell them.
Yeah, that's
You know what I'm
crazy.
saying?
Going back and changing, yeah, I feel like that would be crazy. But I like what you said because it speaks to, okay, what makes the competitiveness happen is I said I was the best.
I can't lie, as a manager, I tell him change your verse. Like, you got to go back in.
Kind of going back to what we were saying about rap becoming a little bit more melodic. But do you think that it has any correlation with R&B and the dip in R&B and people not appreciating R&B because it all kind of is sounding the same now?
The singers want to be the rappers now. That's
But
The more the rappers
the
want to be
rappers want to be the singers. So now because...
We're saying that too close to Wretch.
Oh, sorry.
Yo, listen, I'll be in the studio, yeah, putting down a guide. There's a guide like, yeah, I'm gonna get someone to sing it. But when I'm driving home listening to the thing, I'm saying, yo, this thing sounds hard. You get what I'm saying?
I think that's happening more than people think.
Happening, yeah. It's just organic. Like, it's not like man saying, yeah, it's just I end up liking it. I just like it like this now.
And also, I just think in general, like music, we're starting to not have any rules. Like, you don't have to sound like what you think a singer should sound like, if that makes sense. You're not all going to be Jennifer Hudson or.
And I think people want things they can sing back. Because some of them old school tunes, when I hear you singing them back, Zeze, I'm like, you're not really doing justice to the
You're
tune.
an R&B head, innit?
Oh, she's a super R&B head, but when she sings them back, it's painful.
R&B now, like, is it dead?
I always say that there's not enough like heartbreaking R&B. There's not heartbreaking. We're not talking about teeth in people's men and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Whoa.
That's what they used to do in R&B.
But who's that heartbreak to? The other person?
Yeah. Oh my God. I was listening to a song the other day and she was like, I know you got a man. I don't know why you're telling me about your girlfriend. I heard you've been with someone for the last 10 months. That's none of my business. That's what she said. And then she said, I'll make you feel nice all night.
You loved it.
Yeah, of course I did.
Sound like a hit.
Right, but again,
But yeah, I think that's affecting R&B as much as I do think rap is definitely affecting R&B. But I think the fact that there's not that much love out here these days. We're on Instagram talking about who's gonna pay for the first date. So you know what I mean, when we're gonna get to love.
True.
I feel like hip hop is just so huge, and that is the reason why R&B hasn't had the chance, and if your record label isn't putting the money behind you, there's only so far you can go. The money's going into massive videos for hip hop rappers and stuff like that. So the R&B is just, I wouldn't say that it's killed it, because it's still there. There's people like Tiana Taylor and her. So I don't think it'd be right to say that it was dead. Coco Jones, there's all these new people coming through. But I just think that hip hop as a genre is just so massive.
And so influential as well, because it's got, like we say, so many subgenres, fashion, all of these things that R&B is even influenced by that.
I think as a rapper, I feel like there's more roots. So for example, like I can do a Daily Duppy, or I can do a Fire in the Booth, or I can do just other things that, do you know what I'm saying, man can do, but like I don't know what the roots are.
For R&B.
Maybe.
But talk about UK
Pop,
R&B.
but like I mean like a Daily Duppy, and that is before I get to radio. That's just like a
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. It's a
like
root.
what they call that thing, NPR.
Tiny desk.
Tiny desk, like a tiny desk. There's not that enough
I
of
feel like
those.
there needs to be more of there's like colours
root,
and stuff
more of
like
a
that,
root.
and more roots.
Covers used to be the root. They used to do covers online. So many people, Justin Bieber, he blew because he did a cover online. People singing.
That's definitely a root. That was a root.
Covers and stuff like that. A recent report, the BPI is All About the Music 2023 yearbook, revealed that hip-hop claimed a record share of the UK albums market in 2022. This was led by UK artists Arrdee, Central C, Aitch, D Block Europe, Dave and Stormzy, alongside global superstars including Drake, Eminem and Kendrick Lamar. When you look at that kind of change and you really put that into perspective, that we are now in the global conversation, we are now competing with artists that are considered to be the top of the tops. How does that make you feel about where we're headed?
You can only be proud of that stat, man. We can live in more places. You can have a club tune and live in the club.
Yep.
But then you also, Kendrick, for example, can have a club tune, but you know that if you get the album, it's going to be conceptual, there's going to be depth, there's going to be topics, it's going to feel like a movie. So it's like two different ways of existing. Whereas maybe in other genres, maybe they don't get the club, they only get the album, or maybe they only get the single. There's just layers of depth to rap.
I have to give this example as well. Like Aitch's single Baby was battling Dave's Starlight for the #1 spot. When you look at the difference in them tunes, it's just like the liberation that music is having at this point. You could make something that seemingly isn't the hit. Do you think we're going to start to get back to seeing more artist authenticity?
100%. And also as well, like, I don't say gatekeepers, but there's not as much gates. Like, I'm going to put the song out, I might do a dance on my TikTok, and bam, now I'm straight in the chart.
The artistry has just gone downhill, I think, man.
Yeah,
if you're going to just focus on TikTok, that's, to me, you're losing something.
No, 100%. But I do think, like, tools are there to be used.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? But what I will say is now, I find there'll be tunes that are blowing up on TikTok. It's not even finished.
Because that's what happened to SZA with I Hate You, isn't it? I think she put it out on somewhere on SoundCloud or something. And basically they took it, put it on TikTok and basically forced her to have to release it. Yeah. She was just like, I wasn't supposed to release this song, but here we go.
There's people that are making music just for TikTok to blow up there. I don't think that's the right way to do things.
I want people's bills to be paid. If there's a lot of these kids that are getting off the road and they said, you know what? Let me allow the road and try and make a TikTok tune. Please do that instead.
I'm with you.
You know what I mean?
I hear you, but and not everyone that paints is Picasso.
Oh, some people are just.
He said, I can't be on stage and not give bars.
No, but it's true. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
It's true. Some people make abstract art. There you go. Where do you see the future for UK hip hop? What is going to take us from the level that we're at now to the next?
I go to, the US, though, we'll talk about Top Boy. Things like that are really helping the music translate even more.
We need to have way more shows.
For some reason, for us to do something, it always takes an American to get involved. Because even with that show, I know a few people that helped kind of bring that back from Channel 4.
Yeah.
But I feel like we are in a position now where it's like, cool.
Just put in and just...
Yeah, just like, let's do something.
Let's, money,
I think
you know what? I think you get the returns, man. Like, you got invest and speculate.
And also, before you go, I was just going to say, there's a way we could package what we've done and take it on a tour.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? I think there's more strength in numbers than we actually think.
I don't know why that hasn't been a thing.
More collaboration projects and things like that.
I think the reason why it hasn't happened because we've just started, like we said, to make money, to make noise.
Everyone's scared.
We do still have that crabs in a barrel kind of, oh my God, there can only be one of us at a time, because that's how, for a long time, that's how it's been made to feel. Like we can only some of us can occupy a certain space. Like Arrdee and Aitch doing something together. There's always that talk of like, oh, they're similar. And they're probably not similar just because they're both white, basically. Why do we always want to pit people against each other? Why can they not occupy the space together?
My things with those things is always like, I even said this to Aitch, I was like, look, you got two choices: you either work with him or you go against him. Innit? Like it's literally that. But that's for me. Like for me, it's about thinking about the big picture. You can't ignore him. It's not.
You might as well be honest. Because that's how people are going to see it. Yeah. Like if you don't work with him, they're always going to do it. So I agree. I think that's what's the best thing to do.
Yeah, and I was just saying about the series thing. I feel like not just movies, series specifically, because I think series live in people's minds longer. Like even with them saying that this is the final season of Top Boy, annoys me. It's just like carry that on forever.
You're more invested when it's a series as well. A film, you know that's an hour and 50 minutes.
I feel like a lot of artists just aren't having the creative scope to think, series as well. Every time that Nine just brought out the last couple of albums, he does a crop circle. If we have more people thinking like that, we'll have more projects.
100%.
Now let's get to the future, right? $1 million question or £1 million question. Is there going to be a UK rapper that breaks the States?
Yeah, it's happened already, innit?
Who do you feel like has done it?
Well, Sench has done it, innit?
You think Sench has done it?
He's doing it.
He's doing it. I don't think he's done it. He's doing
But he
it.
wouldn't be there without
Doing
the
it again,
Dizzies and without the Stormzys, without the people that are kind of, they tried it first and, you know what I'm saying, still pushing through, but Central C's the guy now, man.
I think it will happen. It has to happen.
But also, I think it's interesting that we're like still want it to happen. Like that we still care.
I don't think we care.
Do you get what I
much,
mean?
though.
That we care. I mean,
I don't anyway.
I think I would like to believe, you know, like when rappers are, I don't care. I just want to. I'm happy to be here, and I would like to believe that. Why don't I do that voice?
Yeah, what voice is that?
That's like my laid back.
That's how she thinks they sound.
They're all laid back. Like I don't care. It's just so like.
It's because you've done so many interviews where he's like, give me something.
I thought you was gonna say something else there. Because anyway. I think we do. I think they still care because I think the States is so big, and unfortunately, it's only been 50 years. And because for a lot of those 50 years, we had to look to the US for hip hop culture and what it was and like the benchmark. I think we're always going to kind of, until our scene grows a lot more, I think there's always going to be that feeling of
there's
like,
just more money there, isn't it? Like,
well, yeah,
simple as that. Like, obviously, if you could do it, you do it.
Right.
Simple as that. But I think, you know, I always say you got to go there. If you're not there, then don't even bother. Like, you're not going to break America by doing a song with one artist, you know, or doing a feature. I think, you know, not a lot of times like people spend time out there and really go there and network. Same way how you do it here, you know, when you're coming up, you know, you're doing your sets, you go into the radio, you go into this place, you go into that place, making genuine connections, and that's something you got to do over there, but 10 times bigger, 10 times more. You know, we mentioned Sench. Obviously, he's someone that spends a lot of time traveling and going places and meeting people, creating organic relationships, and from that, he's obviously benefiting. But a lot of artists can't go there, unfortunately. So I think that's a big part of why maybe we've not seen it yet. But I think it will happen, but you got to really care to do it because it's a long flight.
I was going to just say, big up Jamaica, because that's where it started from. Cool Herc. It's Jamaican, everything, all the mixing. Jamaica. Yo. But all the chatting, that's from Jamaica. Do you know what I mean? I don't think Jamaica gets enough props for.
You didn't like what I read out. I can feel it. He was just we ain't bring it back far enough now, but I do hear that.
Bronx.
That's where it started from, innit?
Do you feel like we have memories of UK hip hop?
Jest. And Chester P and people like that.
Lashnikov.
You got to shout out Skinny Man as well. Like, there was like a culture and a scene.
Big up South London on that.
Territorial, yeah?
So before we go, make sure you check out all the new releases this week across the +44 playlist on Amazon Music. You can download the Amazon Music app or just ask Alexa.
As well as the main +44 playlist, we also have the R&B playlist, the rap playlist, and the Afro playlist. You have been listening to the +44 podcast from Amazon Music with me, Sideman.
And me, Zeze Millz.
Listen to the +44 podcast wherever you get your podcasts or listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music.